Hi everyone, it's that time of year again and I'm going to be doing my Christmas cake, and as I promised I am going to video that for you. And this Christmas cake comes from a very old book that my gran gave me when I got married. And this is called Good Housekeeping, Look and Cook, and it's a very rich Christmas cake, and this is what we make here in the UK, or we buy. Some people buy them, but I make mine every year because my boys like them. And for this cake you need, well, it depends what size of cake you're making. I'm making half the size of this, or 3/4 I should say, but I'll tell you how much for a big cake. A pound of plain flour, half a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of mixed spice, 1 pound of sultanas, 1 pound of currants, a pound of raisins, a pound of mixed pill. Well, I don't put in mixed pill because my family don't like it. Half a pound of glacé cherries, half a pound of shelled almonds, 1 lemon, 1 orange, this is the juice, 12 ounces of butter, 12 ounces of caster sugar, 6 to 8 eggs according to size, a little milk, a tablespoon of coffee essence, and a tablespoon of browning, and that's gravy browning. So I have to adjust it because I'm making a vegan cake because one of my sons is vegan. So I've got the 100% natural ingredients for the butter, and instead of eggs I get this Og's alternative aquafiber, and this is really good stuff. It's runny, you just whisk it up and it's just like eggs. It's really good. So we start off, I've got my oven warming at 160 degrees Celsius, and it's 325 Fahrenheit if you've got a Fahrenheit cooker. So that's actually warming. Now to start your cake off, you've got to, this is the tin I'm going to be using, a square one, and it's got false bottom. I haven't greased it yet, but I will. Right, so we're going to get our butter and sugar so that we can get that mixed up together. Just get myself a spoon. So I need, how much butter do I need? 8 ounces I'll be doing instead of 12, so let's get that out. Crash. Oh, that's exactly 8 ounces. That was a good guess, wasn't it? Right, so 8 ounces. Get that. I better get myself a piece of kitchen towel to wipe my hands with. And then caster sugar, we need the same, 8 ounces. There's my caster sugar. There we go, 8 ounces of caster sugar. And then what you have to do is mix these two together so that they make a nice paste. So you just mash your butter down and tip a little bit of this in. And mix it in. Try and do it quickly for you. I always end up with it on my fingers. I don't know how I do it. That's neat. I've got my little dog sitting on the floor here, wondering what I'm doing. Nearly done it. So get those two mixed together and give them a good beat up. There we go. So that's ready for the next stage of our cake. We have to get all our dry ingredients, which is 3/4 pound of plain flour. Just open that up. So that's 12 ounces. I'll put that out the way because I've used it. Half a teaspoon of salt. And just undo my mixed spice. I always put a full good teaspoon of mixed spice in because we like to have it, you know, loads of cinnamon and everything. So I'll pop that in. And then your coffee essence. Have a teaspoon of coffee. And I use gravy granules. This just helps to give you the colour. So that's that and that. And what other dry ingredients have we got? I should know this off by heart, really. Mixed spice, salt, coffee essence, tablespoon. That's it, I think. Yeah, that's all of it. And then what I'll do is I will pause for a moment and I'll whisk up some of my eggs. So of course when you whisk your eggs up it'll be different, but aqua fibre is quite runny. So give it a whisk up. Just do it with a fork if you're doing a vegan or a vegetarian cake. And it goes quite frothy. And then you tip in some of your dry mixture. And mix that into your butter and caster sugar. And tip a bit of your egg in, or one of your eggs, if you're using a real thing. And you start getting your cake consistency. A bit more of your dry ingredients. And a bit more of your egg, or another egg. Mix that all well in. So see, we're starting to get our nice cake consistency here. Bit more of your dry, so it's just you know, bits and pieces as you go. So that's one egg, one thing of aqua fibre. I think is that 4 eggs? The equivalent of 4? Yeah. nice little bit of that. That's nice. We're going to need a bit more milk of our egg. It's kind of see how it goes and make sure you're getting it to the right consistency, you know, that's really good. So I think I'm all right at the moment. Right, okay, now we start with our other ingredients, which now, because my family, well, my husband doesn't like nuts, I always buy these lovely ground almonds just to have some nut in the cake for everybody else that likes it. Because, you know, when you're doing things for your family, you have to do for everybody, don't you? It's like I'm making a vegan cake because one of our sons is vegan. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to have any Christmas cake. And you know, I like to do for everybody. So, mix in the ground almonds. What I do is I get a bag, and how much is this? 200 grams. I put the whole lot in because we're not having any physical hard nuts, you know. But you can put any nuts in you like. Walnuts, almonds, chestnuts, you know, just chop everything up. And that's a lovely consistency now. There we go, it's looking good. Right, so we've got most of our dry ingredients in there and it's a good consistency. So at the moment I'm not going to add any more egg to it, any of my aqua fibre. But now I'm going to start putting in my fruit. So I'm going to put in some Orange River sultanas. And I'm not going to measure them, I'm just going to tip them in because they tell you a certain amount to do, but I always like to pop in more because we like a nicely fruited cake, and I can tell after years of doing it how much I want to put in. So I've got some sultanas in there. And now I'm going to do some raisins. And mix those in. I'm just going to start using my big wooden spoon now because it's starting to get a bit heavy for that. It's looking good. So that's got some of our fruit in. I'm going to do currants next. Pop some of those in. That's looking good. And there's our fruit going in. Just move this out of the way now. And want some cherries. Now one of my sons loves cherries and one hates them. So I put some in and they end up taking out, the one who doesn't like them takes it out, but that's okay, isn't it? These are glacé cherries, and they're very hard to get the top off. There we go. So they're glacé cherries. Pop some of these in. I'll just put half in, half a punnet, because as I say, not everybody likes them. And like everything with families, you have to kind of make sure you include for everybody, don't you? So there we go. That's looking good. So there we are so far. That's our mix. It's looking nice and rich, isn't it? And then we need some lemon juice. Now I had to get a thing of lemon juice, a bottle, because they didn't have any lemons, would you believe? I don't know what's going on, but some things you can find and other things you can't. So have a little bit of lemon juice in there. That's good. Mix that in. That gives you a bit more moist, you know, wetness to it. Oh, we're doing well so far. It's looking good. Now I've got my orange. I'm going to cut my orange in half. And give it a squeeze on this to get some juice out, because you only want the juice, you don't want the actual orange. Just do half of it, I think, because it's a big orange and it's seedless, so you haven't got any seeds in there. I'm going to chip that in my cake. I expect my husband to eat the other half of that, and we give it a little stir. That's looking lovely. That's beautiful. That's looking really nice. So we've got a good consistency of cake there. And I think I'm going to add a bit more fruit. Just to make sure there's plenty of fruit in it, because it's, like I say, it's a rich cake. So I just adjust it to how I want it to be, you know. And you can do the same if you want it really with loads of fruit or loads of nuts. You just put in what you want. And there we go. I've got my wrist strap on because it gets very heavy and I don't want to hurt my wrists. That's looking lovely, and it will hopefully bake nice for me. Looks good. I'll just get my, I think I've got everything in there. Let me just check. Flour, salt, mixed spice, sultanas, currants, raisins, mixed pill, gusset cherries, almond, lemon, orange, butter, sugar, milk, coffee essence. Yep. Love this. Everything's in there, so I'm going to just get my husband to give it a stir round for luck. Can you give it a stir round for luck for me? Stir around for luck. Make a wish. and my husband's giving it a stir round and a whisk. Just wipe my side off. And I'll get my cake tin greased up and put it in, and I'll come back. Right, here we go. I've given my cake tin a really good grease. It has got a loose bottom, but I've put all my mixture in, and I'm going to smooth it down. Make sure you smooth it down into the corners of your cake tin. Like I say, I've got my oven warm now, so it's ready to go. And what I'll do is, you have to bake it in stages. So I will show you how it is at each stage. Right, so you do it, let's get that off. You'll end up with loads on your wooden spoon. Right, so I do it flat, and then I make an indent in the middle. Just a little indent, like a little hill print. Give it a bit of room to rise. It's only plain flour, it's not self-raising, but it'll come up. And I'm gonna pop that in my oven now, and that will go in for an hour. If you're doing the whole, a bigger cake, it'll be an hour and a half at 160 or 325. Wow, Siri has just reminded me to have a look at my cake, and it's looking all right. It's coming on great, it smells lovely. And I'm turning it down to 135 centigrade for half an hour, and then 120 centigrade for another hour. So it's slow cooking, okay? And then I'll show you when I get it out the oven.